This conference will now be recorded.
All right. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We're about to have our annual meeting. So, do we have any volunteers around the table for prayer?
I will.
Mr. Min- Okay.
Shall we?
Sure.
Bow your heads, please. Gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to come together to do the business for the citizens of Dooley County. Pray that we be ever mindful of our responsibilities to them and lead, guide, and direct us as we do this work that is so important for this community. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Let's all stand and join me in the pledge of the allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. You have before you a proposed agenda. What's the pleasure of the board?
I'd like to add one item, I'd like to add a proclamation honoring one of our senior citizens.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the agenda.
I second.
It has been motion and second. All in favor by the show of hands. Okay, that motion carries. Old minutes were emailed to everybody. What's the pleasure of the board?
Offer motion that we accept minutes as recorded.
I second.
Okay, the motion and second. Before we vote on it, do we have any discussion on the old minutes? Any correction? If not, all in favor by the show of hands. That motion carries. Mr. Steve is on you now.
Okay, well, we'll take care of the proclamation right quick if that's okay with you, Mr. Chairman.
That's fine.
You want me to do it? You want to do it?
Oh, I can do it.
Since it's a citizen in your district, I'll let you
Okay,
get the board to approve it.
all right.
Mm-hmm.
At this time, we have a proclamation for Miss Eunice Dawson before the board. I need a vote on it. So what's the pleasure?
I believe she turns 100 years old Saturday.
Yeah, she turned a century years old Saturday.
Wow.
And
Wow.
and the story behind this is, and I told Mr. Steve about it. We did one for Miss Luster, Bertha Luster. She turned 104. Well, the lady that lived right across from her, I guess, was jealous. So she decided she wanted to make it to 100. Now, how much more she got left, I don't know. But then we had some more that's in the same neighborhood, right at the century mark. So my statement to Mr. Steve was, I need to tell one of them to move out the house so I can move in.
Y'all got good water.
Good
Yeah,
water up there.
it got to be something.
Something.
They killing that century mark. Even though my old man was over 102 when he passed away.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I need a
Offer motion that we issue the proclamation honoring this lady.
okay.
I second, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, have the motion and second. Are there any discussion on it? If not, all in favor by the show of hands. And just to read, and that motion carries, just to read a little something about it. And we do have, Mr. Dawson, once you come forward as we read, this is her son, Evan Dawson. Let's step up. Okay. Whereas longevity of life is a blessing for an individual and for a community which benefit from knowledge, creativity, and experience this individual brings to all. Okay. Duly kind of recognize with respect and admiration the contribution of senior citizens to our community. Ms. Eunice Dawson was born in Byronville, Georgia, the big city, on October 21st, 1923. She has lived in Duly County all her life. She was married to Willie Dawson. She and her husband raised 3 children: Addie Willie, Ellery Pridgeon, and Evan Dawson. We saw the got Kevin Dawson. It should have been Evan. Okay. She attended the Odessa Bloom High School in Byronville. She was a member of the Byron Chapel Church of Byronville. She enjoyed spending time with family and friends, and she still sit out on the porch every day, watching the cars go by. Whereas that the Dooley County Board of Commissioners has hereby honored and congratulate Ms. Dawson on the celebration of her 100th birthday and extend to her our best wishes. So on behalf of the Dooley County Board of Commissioners, Mr. Dawson, we'd like to present to you this proclamation. Oh, he don't ease him behind. All right.
All right. Need to try to keep things moving along because we do have a 10 o'clock meeting that the Middle Georgia EMC is hosting over on the other side of town. So we'll take care of them. Do you think, are the retired teachers all here or do you?
I think yeah, somebody's here. Miss Hopper, Minnie Hopper's here. Yeah, they're here.
Or is that all that's coming or do we need to wait?
Is that all coming, Miss Hopper?
I don't know. We go
Dr.
on.
Keenan president?
She said,
I can go
Dr. Keenan,
All right.
president?
Okay.
She ain't
All
gonna
right,
be
come on up.
you're right.
Dr. Keenan.
Do you have the proclamation?
I guess.
I can't.
She knew I'm gonna be late.
We have to
Good morning.
Good morning, good morning.
Okay, and now that we'll come up with something. Okay. Again, on behalf of the Dooley County Board of the Dooley County Commission, we would like to present to our retired teachers, which I work with, and and Tony over there too, a retired teacher along with.
She just retired.
She just retired. And
She
along with,
Retired last year.
okay. So we would like to present to you, I can just sit and just talk forever about the duties and things that you all have carried on over the years, because I know you did 75 years in the school system.
73.
70. Are you serious?
51.
Oh, I was gonna say, just joking.
Okay, yeah, I'm just kidding.
Really, 51 years, 95 days absent, and 18 years of perfect attendance.
Man, that's
I'm
awesome.
Yeah.
I'm 51 years, I don't say that none of
All
that.
right, give a hand for that one too.
And along with Ms. Barbara and the rest of the retired teachers of Dooley County, we like to present to you a proclamation. It's on the way.
We'll get to them.
Yeah, and we'd like to tell y'all how we appreciate all the good things. All of y'all need to go back to work. We're back in the system one, as kids can say, one more again. And help just keep that good thing going with the county itself. Okay, we'd like to thank you on behalf of the Dooley County Board of Commissioners. We present to you the invisible proclamation.
Mhm.
It's just, a piece of paper, but it's the thought behind it that counts. Okay, we thank y'all. All right.
Do that in motion.
Oh, yeah, we
I make
forgot.
a motion to do the proclamation.
That's it.
Okay, there has been motion and second on the proclamation for the Dooley County retired teachers. All in favor by the show of hands. And that motion carries. Okay, thank you all again. Mr. Stevens on you.
Okay. You want to do Miss Rob?
Yes.
Sure, go ahead.
At this time, we will call Miss Sharia Robinson, who is the LGRMS Health and Wellness Director. Yes.
Good morning, everyone.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Again, I'm Sharia Robinson with Local Government Risk Management Services and also with ACCG, the Association of County Commissioners of Georgia. So I'm here this morning to present to you guys your annual $3,000 check for your health and wellness program. So this check, of course, is for employee health and well-being. I also want to thank the board as well as Dooley County and also your health champion for several years here, Ms. Linda Woodson, for being the health champion for Dooley County. Okay. If you guys would please do me the pleasure of getting a picture with me.
How about you come down here?
Oh, okay.
Okay, I will.
gonna stand, Mr. Chairman, or you?
I can stand and take that check.
If you guys, yeah, just kind of stand around there for it. Oh, please.
Okay, we got.
Maybe add a couple more numbers too.
Can you get him? Can we get somebody else? I think he's taking one.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
See how Ms. Nunn coming.
Go check down a little bit so so we can seal it.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And our employee health fair is scheduled for,
November 29th
Okay.
at the Recreation Center from 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock. So if we can be able to attend, that will be great.
okay,
Thank you.
all right, so, go back up. Yep, this one, sorry, let me get my act together. We took care of the minutes, right? Yep. Minutes. Okay. Financial report, we gave the financial report for the month of September out at the last meeting, so if any of y'all have any questions about that, ask us and we'll be glad to try to get you answers. Item number 3, just a reminder, Middle Georgia EMC is hosting a cooperative community summit today from 10 to 2 today at the Business Development Center in Vienna. When we go, they'll be in the conference room out there. And if you go in the center of the building, the front door, it's down the hall to the left. So, and I'm sure they'll have signs up directing everybody down there. So that's where we'll be at for the meeting. The update on the EMS, hopefully they will be moved in before our next board meeting. So they're getting to the final details, getting the internet service set up and the phone system swapped over. So things are falling in place. SPLOST, I'm in the process of getting the cities to sign off on the intergovernmental agreement. Hopefully we'd like to have all that in place by the end of the year. The River Valley Regional Commission, we've asked them, they've asked if we intended to apply for a grant for a housing rehab. We indicated we have. So they're in the process of getting back with us and letting us know what information they need from us to get the process started. So it's going to be a rather involved. In the past, when we went to grant specialists in Georgia, they basically did all the legwork for the grants. I think with River Valley, they're going to be expecting us to do a lot of the legwork up front. So we're going through the process of figuring out what all they want from us so we can get the information to them in a timely manner.
But that was part of the houses that we turned in the other week.
Yeah, y'all have already given me several sections of roads that we want the initial, we think are going to be good prospects. So, yeah, I've got all I need from y'all right now. I'm waiting now to know what information River Valley needs about that, because there's going to be surveys that's going to have to be mailed out to all those people in that area to get information from them to see who's going to qualify for the grant program. Number 7, we've got to develop our project list for our road surfacing for next year. But let's hold off on that. We'll talk about that next meeting, because we've got to keep trying to keep this meeting moving along here. Motor graders, I'm still working with Rodney on getting the prices on some new motor graders, so we hope to have that information at the next meeting. We have a public hearing scheduled today at 9:30 for some zoning matters, so we'll skip over number 9 and come back to it at 9:30. That's all from that. Number 10, just a brief, I'll let you know about it. We won't take any action today, but at the last planning commission meeting, our current zoning ordinance like if you want to build a house or put a mobile home in a zone that allows it, the minimum lot size is 1 acre. And then it also requires that lot to have 150 foot of road frontage, where there are frequently some circumstances. Well, back up. At the last planning commission meeting, they had 3 requests. 2 of them were rezoning requests, and a rezoning request goes to the planning commission first, and then the planning commission makes a recommendation to the county commissioners. The request number 3 was a variance request, a zoning variance, and the county commissioners have given the planning commission authority to handle variances. They don't require a recommendation to the county commissioners. In this particular case, all right, it was parcel 2710A. Let me just go pull that up right quick. Search. What did I say, 2710A?
Yeah.
2710A. Which is this parcel highlighted in red here. It's I think it's a 10-acre parcel. Their daughter wanted to put a mobile home behind their house. So the simplest thing would have been done, they could have very easily just subdivided that parcel into 2 parcels, a parcel here and a parcel here. Problem with that though is, if they did that, this parcel back here would not have road frontage. And the ordinance requires you to have road frontage because, and the reason for that is so fire trucks, ambulances, that they have control of a driveway to get people to their house. They're not depending on somebody else to let them come to their property. So that's why the 150 road frontage is in the ordinance. But there's not enough. There wasn't a way that they could cut out a parcel back here and then have a 150-foot driveway to it. So historically, those people request a variance. It goes to the planning commission, and the planning commission, I'm not aware of a time when they have not approved the variance given the people that. The planning commission asked the county commissioners to consider, is there a way to keep these people in circumstances like this from having to apply for a variance, go for the planning commission, and it's going to be approved? Is there a way that we could set up some sort of amend our zoning ordinance to give the zoning administrator, and maybe with approval of the county administrator, the authority to issue those type of variances? So anyway, that's something we'll talk about. I haven't had a chance to talk to the attorney about it, so I'm just letting y'all know this is going to be coming. I ain't asking for any action today on that. Because I know when you get in zoning and stuff, it's all got to be done a particular way. So we'll get back to the agenda.
Well, Steve, since you said that, what if she has divided that lot up and sold it to somebody else, and they want to put a trailer back there, and they didn't have the road frontage?
Is it hypothetical that she had divided it which way? Because
I'm talking about right straight across. You said that with 10. Let's suppose she kept the front half.
So they just divide it like right there.
Mm-hmm.
she can't subdivide it and give it, sell it to someone else without going through the subdivision process because it's how many acres?
Well, that brings on another, we need to, up until a couple of years ago, anytime get my thoughts right. Anytime a deed was sent to the courthouse to be recorded that was creating a new parcel, our zoning administrator needed to review it, and he couldn't prevent it. Say if they were wanting to create that parcel in the back, we couldn't prevent them from doing that, but he would put a sticker on that deed saying, or the plat, saying, this is creating a parcel that is not developable. Well, something has changed over at the courthouse and they no longer send those plats, require those plats to be reviewed by our zoning administrator, so we got to work through that.
Well, it was a state law change because used to the plat, when you put the plat in, you had to get a stamp and just a signature. And I had to do that with Gary Houston, I think at campground years ago, 15, 20 years ago now. But what's now is you can apply those, you can do those online. And so there's not a human being that can stop it. And the problem is you can file anything you want to, but that isn't, people think if I filed it, that makes it legal. No, you just made a mess is all you did and put it on file, because the rules are as they are. And to answer the bigger question posed by the chairman, the reason you have zoning laws is not to inconvenience the current citizens, as is what these people will tell you when they apply for an exception to it. Okay? You have rules. You make rules that apply across the board based on good governance. Okay? And that applies to everybody. So that everybody can come sell their property later. To answer your question, yes. But what happens is when people start avoiding the rules, and the rules are not just arbitrary, they're well thought out. They've been in a public hearing as part of the Zoning Procedures Act to be adopted. It's placed for comment, and so forth. But when people bump into a rule that they don't like, they want you to accept it because all government's bad. No. The role of government is to protect everybody, including the person down the road who might buy into that situation and not realize what they're buying into, because you need to protect it, because Sally and Johnny aren't always going to live there. At some point, their family's not going to live there, and it won't be okay. And that situation of not getting the fire truck down there is not as likely as that's my property. You ain't coming across it because I don't like the way you looked at me. And then the county gets drawn into it. Well, you approved it. You accepted it. So that's the reason it's important to have these rules, because if somebody comes in and puts a subdivision in your county, you're going to require them to go through certain rules to subdivide that property so that people have streets, driveways, so forth and so on. Well, when someone has a large tract of land defined by your ordinance, in this case 6.5 acres, if they want to go parcel those things out into just the smallest lot size and develop their own subdivision, they should have to go by the rules of everybody else. That's all you're doing. And so when someone comes and asks for an exception to the rule because it's their family, they want to live on the back of their property, it all sounds good going in, but that's the reason you have the rules to begin with. And it's not politically expedient to deal with it, because we are a small county. Everybody knows everybody, that sort of thing. But at some point, if I were to say the commissioners approve this, since I've been the county attorney, I've been here, I don't know, several years, there was a different person sitting where you're sitting, Mr. Barron. There's a different person sitting where you are, Mr. Robinson. Different person sitting where Mr. Mixon is. And there's a different person sitting over here. So who approved it? You know what I mean? The government did. And so we got to have some consistency over time. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. All right, let's move on to number 11. I'm still working on our EMS accounts receivables. I hope to have something in the next meeting on that. Item number 12, just a reminder, the ACCG fall regional meeting for our district is scheduled for Friday, November 3rd in Taylor County at 10 a.m. There'll be a lunch afterwards. They need to know, like an RSVP or any of the county commissioners planning to attend this meeting. You'll make a note of that, Linda. Because I think they want us to RSVP by the end of the month. Okay. Item number 13, Dooley County is allowed to have 2 representatives on the Middle Flint Health and Wellness Board, Miss Betty Lamb currently serves as a representative. The other position is vacant. So we'll keep that on the agenda until we can come up with someone willing to serve on that. Item number 14, at the last meeting, when Joseph Willis and the couple of rec board members were here, they were submitted a list of projects they'd like to see, capital projects they'd like to see accomplished in the future, and one of them was the repaving of the walking track at the rec department. And at that time, the county commission indicated y'all might be willing to maybe come up with some funds from the American Rescue Plan Act for that. He already had a proposal from Reeves Construction. I sent that to our engineer with Mulkey Consulting Engineers and asked him just to review the proposal to make sure it was what we needed to have done it. Lance Wood looked at the walking track, looked at the proposal from Reeves, and actually got another proposal also from Griffin Grading and Concrete. That's the firm that's doing the Lapa Road project. And so we got two proposals for the walking track repaving. They're going to basically repave it and stripe it. And the Griffin Grading's proposal was $66,165, and Reeves Construction was $69,968. So, what does the board wish to do?
Where's Griffin? Where are they from?
Cordell, Chris County.
Reeves from Cordell too, right?
No, they up the road now.
They up the road now?
Well, they've got a plant here in Dooley County, but I think the crews worked out of Macon, I think.
You know when they'll start?
Both of them indicated they should be able to start soon.
Okay. Well, I make a motion, Mr. Chairman, that we accept that Griffin Grading and Cement for the $66,000 to pave the track.
I second. That's the one we're using now. They do a lot around here.
Yes.
I second.
It has been motioned and second. Do we have any discussion on it?
And that money will come from the
American
AR.
Rescue Plan.
Right, money.
Both companies have done work for us, and we have been pleased with both companies' work. That's not been an issue in the past.
It ain't gonna take away too much from it, is it?
$66,000.
And I'll get the engineer. The engineer will supervise the project to make sure we're getting the job that we want that we're paying for.
And they did apple to apples.
And he said yes for that. That was the one question I made sure of, that they are bidding on the same exact specs.
And you said they're gonna pave it too, right?
Yes.
That mean like 4 lines or 8 lines or?
They're gonna stripe it. There's 6 running lanes
That's
out
good,
there.
man. Okay. That's good. Then they can have some track meets out there for the rate.
It had gotten in, well, it had gotten in really, really bad shape. I had not been up close to it till after the meeting. I went out there and walked around it, and it's in bad shape.
So the county out there spring.
Go ahead and go in and start trying to kill the grass ahead of this.
Okay, all in favor by the show of hands. Okay, that motion carries.
Okay. Item number 15, the Georgia Department of Revenue has reviewed our 2023 tax digest and has approved the collection of the 2023 property taxes with a due date of December the 20th, which is the earliest due date you can have. That's our normal due date for taxes, is December the 20th. Okay, that's everything except.
Can I ask a question on that, Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
So they sent them out yet?
They're in the process. They're being mailed now.
Okay, because I saw somebody at my house the other day on camera. I was saying they were just coming out, so I thought they had already sent them out, but evidently they had.
No, they should be arriving
Okay.
as we speak.
You ain't got the lead time. No.
No, I wanna know, did it go down somewhere?
Okay, back to item number 9. At their October 9th meeting, the Dooley County Planning Commission considered 3 zoning requests. Request number 1, Querish Bullard request that parcel number 9754 be changed from R2, which is multifamily residential, to C2, general commercial, to have an auto body repair paint shop on the property. The location will be a 1-acre area to be subdivided from the current 2-acre parcel. The property is located at 430 North Meadow Ridge Drive. And just to show you where that is, I think if I go here, okay. This, come on. This is Highway 27 going toward toward Hawkinsville. This road here is 3rd District Road. This is the little community out there called Meadow Ridge. This is Mr. Bullard's property right here. And what happened to my zoning layer? Oh, I can turn it back on. Oh, I got a communication error for some reason. Oh, there we go. Okay. So get rid of all this. So that's Mr. Bullard's 2 acres. And he's wanting, I'm assuming this is the shop, paint shop here. Is that correct, Mr. Bullard? Is that the paint shop?
That's the shop, it's not necessarily a paint shop.
I mean, but that's the shop. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's the shop. And what you're proposing is sort of subdividing that and asking that this new parcel be zoned commercial. Is that correct?
Honestly, Glenn Layson persuaded me to do that. I put in for a while back, I think it was like a year or so ago, I put in for mine to be rezoned as agriculture. He said I'm running a business. I'm not running a business. That is something I do on my side time. So he said it fits C2. He said that. I didn't say that. I came up here before the last meeting to do it as agriculture. He brought out C2, said it fit, what you're doing is fitting for a gas station and all that. I said, sir, I got a full-time job. I work 10 hours a day at Blueberry. I do this when I have time. And I haven't really had time in the last 8 months to even fool with anything. So that's Glenn Layson says is C2. That's not me.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
let me refocus this. We have an application that has been submitted by Mr. Bullard. Well, not submitted by Mr. Layson, is that correct? You submitted the application.
Mr. Layson told me to write down.
Did you submit it?
I came up here.
Okay, the question is, we have an application. It can be done one of 2 ways. It can be done by the county in rare circumstances, or it can be done by the landowner. Who submitted this application, the county or the landowner?
Landowner, I submitted 2.
Okay, did you submit the application?
Yes, 2.
Okay, and the application that's before the board today is for C2, or is it for ag?
It's supposed to be for ag, but he.
Which one did you submit?
I guess he put C2, I'm not sure.
Okay, well, let's get it out and look at it, because we can't have 2 depending, we gotta know what was put. We're gonna address in this commission meeting what was before the planning commission. So was it C2 or ag? Because if you want to withdraw it and go back the other way, then we could do that, but we can't change it midstream at this point. Sir, we're gonna wait just a minute. We'll let you respond in due time, but let's find out what's before us.
According to the minutes from the planning commission meeting, it was an application for rezoning to C2.
Okay. If that's incorrect, we can stop what we're doing here today, Mr. Chairman, and we can go back to square one if that's what his desire is. So we need to find that out.
So Corey, which one you?
I want ag.
Okay.
See, this is what I wanted to say. When I went to court with this, I submitted the first one for A. He told the judge that I wrote in a written statement saying I no longer wanted to change it. That was a lie. I wrote in anything. So the judge said, Mr. Lacy, can you put the paperwork before me that he wrote in to say he didn't want to change it? He couldn't prove no paperwork. That's how I got to do it again. The judge had me to come over and do it again. So when I came to do the ag again, he said, ag, you can't have two cars in the shop. He wasn't telling me what I couldn't do. I said, I want ag because I'm not running a business. So he said, well, C2 fits you better. So he had me put everything down on the paper that I do what I'm capable of doing. That's not what I want to do as far as a business. That's Glenn Layson put me down as a C2. I wanted ag.
Mr. Barron, at this point, it's not appropriate to take further comment from the applicant because he has stated that it is not what he intended to submit and he wishes to withdraw it. That's what I heard, and he wants to stop this process and go back to square one. I'm not suggesting that's what he should do, but that's what he's put us in as a board. And from a legal standpoint, now that he's said that, we have no choice. Okay? We can't override it and go ag, and that's what I think he would like us to do. So what I would want to do if I were making the argument that he's making, I'm not saying that that's what should be done or that I would do that, but that's where I hear that going. And so unless we have consensus that he, the applicant, wants it C2, and I hear that he does not, you do not want it C2, is that correct?
No, I'm not running.
All right, then it may or may not, if you withdraw this, sir, it may not be able to go the other way. I haven't looked at it, but it has to go because of the nuances of the zoning law. You have to withdraw it. You can withdraw this application, go back to the other, and the county commission could probably waive the fee on filing the new one if you wanted to, but there may be some timing issues involved in that too. I haven't looked at it, but we're here at the last part of this. That should have been corrected when you filed it. It should have been corrected at the planning commission, but it's gone through the steps and we're at the final step where you're wanting an amendment. We can't amend it to a different zoning criteria without that being before us. We have to consider one or the other. We don't have the ability to just erase what was there and add what you want at this level. Now, I'm not saying that can't be done, but with zoning, it's governed by constitutional rights that protect you and your neighbors. And if your neighbors don't want it that way, they have a right to object all the way along the way from the application process and comment to the public hearing process to this process. And so we can't switch midstream and just say this is what it should be. At this point, this board can approve it or deny it. What has been recommended in this process, Mr. Layson is referred to as staff, okay, in the zoning context, because he is the person appointed by this board that reviews the laws and acting on behalf of the county says this is where I think this fits and gives guidance to the citizens who come in. That is within his job description and that is what he's doing. And if he looks at the laws and says it doesn't fit, then he can say, you can do this, but you're probably wasting your time. And he can allow you to do it. But he was probably not trying to over-insert his opinion on this. He was probably trying to save you from what would likely be denied based on what the rules are. I don't know. I haven't looked at it until today. And what I'm suggesting is that maybe we've got to vote it up or down today. Once we've started this, we've started it. It's already got here. So the only way, and if you withdraw it, then there are timing issues about when you can bring it back. If it's denied today, then there are also timing issues of when you can bring it back. And it is likely to be, I don't know what the vote of the commission is going to be, but the staff recommended that it be a C2. The planning commission voted 5-3 in a pretty much split vote, but in a majority wins to recommend that your request be denied by the county commissioners. That doesn't mean they have to go with that, but that's where that's headed. You're coming in here with a vote against you. And so if you think, I'm not a betting man, and I have no way of knowing what they're going to do. But I would say if you have qualms about the way it's brought, you probably ought to. You're not going to get it changed to A. All I can say is I can't give you legal advice, but it cannot be changed to ag here today. No way that's going to happen.
My thing is, I didn't want to change to anything.
Okay.
It could have stayed R1. My argument is I'm not running a business. He said it's a business. It's a hobby. They got it now where the judge say I can't even do nothing in my own shop. I can't even change my oil. I can't do nothing. But we got other people in the community that does the same thing. That's my argument.
Mr. Chairman,
I don't need C2.
Mr. Chairman, we're here today on behalf of Mr. Bullard's request that he made. For whatever reasons, he made it. Good, bad, or indifferent. We have heard from Mr. Bullard and his neighbors on prior occasions here, and then it went through the court process. So here we are in a third scenario. We had a neighbor issue, then it went through the court process, and now we're here on a zoning issue, and we're at the 11th hour. So either you finish the public hearing, call for a vote, or you allow him to withdraw it. Those are your two options.
I withdraw it because I don't want C2.
All right, and that ends the matter on that issue today. We can move to the next one.
Okay.
Yeah, request number 2, Kiara Talbert and Amy Nicole Clayton request that parcel 44-9B be changed from R1, which is single family residential, to R2, multifamily residential, to allow a manufactured home to be placed on the property. The property is located at 4135 Sloshy Trail. And 44-9B, 44-9B, 44-9B. Okay, that's the parcel highlighted in red there. And that is, let me zoom out a little bit to show you where that's at. Let me get my thoughts together here. Zoom on out some more.
Coming up to Pleasant Valley.
Yeah, if you're going out Highway 90 to Lilly,
Turn on Pleasant Valley.
turn on Pleasant Valley Road.
Take a right.
You
on
cross the
Sloshy.
railroad tracks right here. Keep going up Pleasant Valley Road till you get to Sloshy Trail. Hang a right, and that's going to be the parcel we're talking about right there.
Is that District 2?
That's on.
You ain't sure?
That's in.
David stay right on down the road.
Okay.
And let's turn the zoning back on.
The Morels are right there behind.
That's right. That's right. It was a trailer there. They tore it down.
Oh.
So it just going back to one.
Okay. It's back in the woods.
Yeah.
I mean, I live not too far from there. I travel that way going to the interstate all the time in Pinehurst, and I never knew anything was back there until I saw the survey crew there when they was buying. The gentleman was considering buying the property and having it surveyed. I didn't know there was even a place had ever been there.
So currently, all this tan area is all the residential R1, residential single family zone. The green zone is ag zone. So that's just, if you scan out, you can see the area that's was designated R1. And just to remind you, oh, that ain't it. Hold on a second. Sorry. Hit the wrong button. Where did my zoning ordinance? Okay. In our zoning ordinance R1, each zone has a statement of purpose, and for R1, the single-family residential zone is established to encourage development of single-family detached housing and to discourage developments which would generate traffic levels and patterns on neighborhood roads in conflict with single-family residential development. The permitted uses is a single-family residence constructed on site. That's R1. And then accessory buildings that go along with a residence, such as a garage, a swimming pool, and stuff like that. Then if you go to R2, the statement of purpose for R2 is the multifamily residential zone is established to provide for a medium and higher density residential development than is permitted in the single family residential zone. And the permitted uses in a R2 zone include everything in R1, but you could still build a stick-built house in an R2, or you could put in a manufactured house or a mobile home, or actually modular housing as well. So, and get back to the,
Well, why we got R1 and R2 in that way?
You got both of them like that.
Yeah. So I mean, you know. Didn't we say we're gonna try to correct some of this stuff?
the planning commission was working with the River Valley Regional Commission on updating our zoning ordinance. The guy they were working with has retired, so they're going through a transition there, but they still plan to update it. But zoning is such an issue, you need some technical guidance in the process. And River Valley had it with I forget the guy's name that was doing it.
Gerald.
No, Gerald had retired a year ago. Then it went to there. They had a zoning expert. I forget it. I can see his face, but I can't remember his name. But anyway, he's retired. But they've got another one now that's going to help supposedly talk the planning commission through the process. But we're not there.
But the issue in this public, we're still in the public hearing.
So we got a public hearing, and the planning commission has voted unanimously to recommend that request 2 be approved by the county commissioner. So we'll open the public hearing at this point. Is anybody here to speak in favor of this request?
Yes.
If you are, if you would come up to the podium, you'll have 3 minutes to make your comments. If you would, state your name and then your comments.
I'm the landowner. I'm the one that bought that piece of property when you came out there to do the survey. And this is my first time ever buying this, going through this process. But I have a fiance. I would like to start a family out there and make this my home for like forever. But all I want to say is, can we make this happen? I just put a mobile home there and start my family. It's a new piece of property that I bought and wanted to be. I've been doing kind of all my life and seen some of my old retired teachers and everybody else. And I just want to have my own family and make this happen.
All right, what's your name?
My name is Kiara Tolbert.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Just for the record, I didn't know Mr. Tolbert until I was looking for the same guy who was doing the
Land survey.
land survey, Jason Faircloth. I was looking for him to come mark something at my property, and he's a friend of mine. And he said I'm around the corner, so I drove over there and saw him, and I met him.
Yes, sir.
And I thought it was Morrell's land, and he told me, no, I'm buying this land. He was very happy about it. That's all I can say. And I told him he had a good surveyor, and if he became my neighbor, I'd like to have him as a neighbor. But I have no opinion one way or the other on this matter. But you are a nice person.
Thank you. You also too. Thank you for the Gatorade.
Oh, I gave him a Gatorade too.
All right, anything else?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
I was kind of nervous though. It was my first time.
Tracy, you ain't gonna say that?
Oh, this is my mother's Tracy.
I am his mother, Tracy Peterson, and he worked hard as his goal, and I raised 3 kids as a single mother before I got married, 25 years at Chris Bridges Hospital in the ER, and I am so proud of my child when he came to me and surprised me with the land that he bought, and every other day, all my family out there working so hard, so I am so proud of my 35-year-old child, 34-year-old child buying his first home, so, I'm very excited, so I hope everything be approved, because all my family has worked hard for this, and I just thank the Lord for this. And I've been through so much, and I thank God that I'm here to stand to see this day. So I just want to say thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, let me see.
All right, thank you.
Is anybody else in here to speak in favor of this zoning request? Is anybody here to speak opposed to this rezoning request? Hearing none, Mr. Chairman, I declare the public hearing is closed. The Planning Commission voted unanimously to recommend that request to be approved by the county commissioners. The only comment that I feel like I need to make, just, by doing this, you are doing what is called spot zoning. You're creating a spot zone for R2 that includes just one parcel. But that's all I'll just leave it at that.
We done did it before, not too far right down the road. What you
Well-
talking about? We did not too far.
Well, you're in, right, when you go across, or when you go out of the woods and around the corner down
And
that
there's a
street,
bunch of them.
down Truman, over there, you're in similar
Yeah.
circumstance.
And actually, just for full disclosure also, if this parcel was over here in this green area in the ag zone, mobile homes are allowed in the ag zone. So it's not so far away from where mobile homes are. Anyway, that's all. I just feel like I need to make that comment.
So I think you're ready for a motion.
I'll make a motion that we accept what the planning commission brought to our table and go along with them.
Second motion.
There have been motion and second. Do we have any further discussion on it?
It's like almost 3 acres, right?
I
Like
guess I don't know
2
what we
point
got.
something. Yeah.
3 for tax purposes.
Yeah, okay.
Three for tax purposes.
That's a big old spot.
Oh, no, y'all so slash.
Yeah, that's a big old
That's all
spot.
you got to do. A mobile home, movie.
That's all I have to say.
Yeah, somebody?
No.
Okay, I thought so. All in favor by the show of hand? Okay, that motion is unanimous. So it passes.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, I believe that's all the items in front of the board at this meeting.
All right.
Do we need a executive or anything?
No, sir.
I can't believe that.
All right, Mr. Chairman, I make a motion we adjourn.
I second.
All right.
Okay, it has been motion and second that we adjourn at this time. All in favor, please stand and left.
Do I get a lollipop?
This meeting started at 10.
But nothing.
Yes.
I can't believe it, man. We got out here.